We are here at the British and Irish Modern Music Institute in Manchester. Paul Reed from the Association of Independent Festivals joins Event Industry News. Paul, the AIF are here today with their Festival Futures conference. This is the first time you've been out or up to Manchester to host one of your events?
Yes, it is, yeah. So with these events, we wanted to get out around the country, get out of London, reflect our membership because they're dotted around across the UK. And obviously Manchester's a major city, there's a lot of industry here, a lot of infrastructure, so we're drawing on a lot of local expertise as well, so it's worked really well, yeah.
You've been doing more and more of these over the last 18 months, 2 years now, events that get your members together because of the very nature of your membership, and they are independent festivals. They're working somewhat autonomously within the industry. How important is it that you give them the chance to get together like this and discuss what they're doing?
Yeah, it's crucial. I mean, the idea for our Festival Congress in Cardiff came from the membership, and as you've said, you know, independent promoters can be a little lone wolf in their operations, but you know, once we get them in a room together, they share information, they connect with each other, they're very transparent. So it's a great networking opportunity in addition to, you know, absorbing a lot of good content and hopefully learning and going away uplifted and inspired and all of those things really.
When you put the programme together of presenters and the topics that you're going to cover, how much of that is driven by the members themselves? How much is ideas that you guys have got at the AIF office?
Yeah, I mean, for these events, primarily us. We do have a steering group that involves the members around the Congress. But for these events, we just came, you know, we had a load of topics, a wish list for speakers, and got everyone that we wanted, which hardly ever happens. So very pleased about that, very pleased to be looking at kind of forward thinking, you know, wanted the agenda to be very forward thinking, what's the future of the industry, bringing in things like virtual reality, connections between streaming and ticketing, the food revolution, grassroots venues. So looking, I don't think we look outside of the industry enough for inspiration, and that's what we try and do with our events. You know, why can't we have a professor of astrophysics or craft brewer or whatever that may be to draw the parallels between their industry and ours, and I'm sure we'll learn something from them, and we have. So.
And what's in the AIF diary for the rest of this year? You obviously mentioned the Congress that takes place. Any more of the Festival Futures conferences happening?
I mean, we're just testing the waters with these, with BIM for this year, so we did a couple, but I think we'll roll it out and have a larger national project next year. But yeah, very much focused on the Congress, which is in November in Cardiff, 1st and 2nd of November.
Earlier on today, in some of the sessions, we've been hearing about content delivery and how it's so important for festivals to constantly refine and address the content that they are putting forward. And interestingly, there was a statistic that suggested that very, very few people actually make the decision to go to a festival based on the headline artist. It's more about the ethos and the atmosphere in the event. How applicable is that to the AIF members, and what are they doing to actually drive that sort of statistic?
Yeah, very applicable. I mean, that statistic was based on our audience research, that's based on people attending our member events and filling out surveys. You know, we get 3,000 responses a year, and yeah, it was 58%, so that the driver for buying a ticket was the overall atmosphere and experience, and for headliners it was something like 6.8% and 21% for music generally. That's really interesting because we've reached a point where the selling point is not a particular artist, it's the overall experience and building loyalty around that year on year.
Are you heartened by the fact that some of your members who are operators of smaller to medium-sized festivals are actually now doing things so well that they are creating trends and driving a better standard in some of the bigger festivals operated by some of the bigger organisations?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we say, you know, again, I would say this, but this is where the energy and creativity is, and it's very much, you know, the grassroots are very much comes from that place. That's not to say, you know, obviously they're running very, very professional events. But yeah, I think that if you have a distinctive idea, then that's going to work, that's going to resonate with people, you're going to find an audience, and it's therefore going to be sustainable. So, you know, I get asked a lot, you know, are there too many festivals? Is the market oversaturated? But the market always corrects itself, really, you know. So if an idea, in a Darwin sort of sense, if an idea isn't strong enough, it's not going to survive.
And people can find out more on the AIF website?
Yes, yeah, point them towards that AIF.org.uk, and the Festival Congress got its own microsite as well.